Hello, good evening. Hi, Monique.
Hi, Paul.
Good
Oh,
evening,
I'm so
everybody
glad
at
to be
home.
back.
Yeah, it's
It's
good to see you.
it's good to see you too. Yeah,
Sorry, we,
nice.
we got a bit of a lag on, Monique. Sorry about that.
Oh, do we?
Yeah, just slightly. It's okay. Hopefully, it'll correct itself. But hello to everybody at home that are watching. Bear with us because you're still away, aren't you, Monique? You're not home at the moment.
Correct. I'm in central Canada, one of the prairie provinces here, visiting my mom. Canada opened up a little bit so we could travel from province to province. I'm from Vancouver, British Columbia. My mother's from Manitoba. I grew up on a farm out here, so it's so nice to visit her. I'm in her house right now doing the show from here.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, hello to Mum. And hello to everybody coming on. We've got Joe, we've got Pat and Dawn and Heidi. Hi, everybody. It's great you're joining us tonight. Fantastic. It's good to know you're here. So, Monique, tonight's guest.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness, this is really interesting. Now, yeah, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people here that are interested to hear about this. A lot of pet lovers, that's for sure. Because this lady is from the United States, and she is happy to join us here tonight. Her name is Karen Anderson, and she's an award-winning animal communicator with over 24 years of experience specializing in pet loss and the afterlife.
yeah.
And her intuitive abilities became evident during her law enforcement career. That's interesting. She'll talk about that, and ultimately launched her into an unusual path of understanding animals. She documented her journey with her two best-selling books, The Amazing Afterlife of Animals and Here All Creatures, and offer animal communication courses for all levels, which a lot of people might be interested in here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So she also has an app, a free app that you can download called Pet Loss, Hope, and Healing for more afterlife insights at your fingertips. Karen has devoted her life to helping those who are struggling with loss to find peace and healing. And she's also the founder of a CEO nonprofit animal sanctuary and refuge for older animals, abandoned and ill animals, companion animals in the United States. So we are happy to have her join us.
Yes, really.
Uh,
Kind of want to do a drum
yes,
roll, really. Every
definitely.
week I say that, but here she is. Here's the lovely Karen Anderson. Hello, Karen.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for having me on the show today.
Oh, it's a real
We
pleasure.
are definitely happy to have you here. Definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Thank you for coming.
So
My
many
pleasure.
questions. We've got so many questions. I've been thinking about this all week. So I'm really looking forward to this. So, guys, get your questions ready for Karen. So, but we normally start, Karen, with we like to ask you a little bit about yourself and about how it all started for you.
Absolutely. I
Sorry.
think no, it's okay. I know we have a little bit of a lag there, so I'll try not to talk when you're talking. It really all started as a child. I was able to understand the animals when I was just a little kid, but I didn't know that that was something unique or unusual. And I would share things with my parents that a 4, 5, 6-year-old child could not possibly know about our pets and our departed family members, and it really scared them. They didn't know what to do with that, so they told me to stop it. So I learned very early on to push down all of those abilities because I felt like I was making my parents upset. So, as little kids, we want our parents' approval. So, very early, I learned to keep it to myself. And fast forward to adulthood, it was when I was a deputy sheriff in the Rocky Mountains of Colorado. And that's where everything just snowballed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So going back to your childhood, was it just animals? Was you aware of anything else
No,
around you?
I could see spirits, human
Okay.
spirits. Yes, I could see. but they looked beautiful, angelic. They were very pleasant, loving. I had all good experiences. I felt like I had all these friends that were always there and around me and checking in with me. It was never anything spooky or scary, or wasn't anything at all. So I have only wonderful, beautiful memories as a child. But again, I learned to not talk about it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And once in your career, I remember reading that that's where the ability came back to you. And it's interesting how it did that. It's linked to your intuition in regards to your job. Is that correct?
That's true. So if you know any police officers or law enforcement, a really good police officer has a very strong gut instinct that they utilize. They don't call it intuition. Most police officers will call it their gut feeling, or they just had a sense or a knowing. But really, truly, it's intuition. They're tapping into something that, a sense, a feeling, and, just something that isn't one of our normal five senses. And I had no clue what I was doing. I wasn't trying to. I was studying animal communication with my own pets at the same time that I was a deputy sheriff. So what happened was they started to blend together. So my work started to blend with my interest in animal communication unknowingly to me. And I started getting messages from animals on crime scenes telling me where the bad guy was, where a lost child was, what happened before I arrived on a scene. It just kind of freaked me out. Why is this happening? I wasn't trying to do this, and it just started to happen all the time.
Yeah.
I'll bet. I bet you that was completely unexpected.
Yeah. How did your colleagues take that?
Yeah, good question.
Well, Paul, I was the only female officer on the department, so I kept my mouth shut. It was hard enough to be accepted into the department as it was, because I had to prove myself as a woman. I had to kind of go the extra mile, and I was always under the microscope. I was always being second guessed and looked at, 2 or 3 times harder than the next male officer. It's just the nature of law enforcement. When you're out there with a partner or you're out there working a shift, you need to know that the other officers got your back. That they're going to be able to take care of you if something goes terribly wrong. So I had a lot of proving to do, which was fine. And I just didn't say anything, because how much credibility would I lose if I went around telling them that, the resident dog told me where the bad guy was hiding? That wouldn't fly at all. I mean, how could I even put in a police report that my confidential informant had 4 legs in the tail, right? No.
Yes,
I guess, I'm guessing your colleagues were like, how is she doing this? How is she finding this, getting all this information? Yeah, they obviously felt you was a natural, intuitive. You was just, you're in the right place at the right time, perhaps. I don't know. But what a special gift, and what a unique experience for you as well, because that's quite difficult, and I'm guessing there's a lot of people out there that kind of doesn't necessarily feel spirit around them. The idea of communicating with their own pet would completely blow their mind. Right. But to do that in such a profession that you're held in such high regard must have been really difficult for you to kind of deal with that.
And the interesting thing I found too was that you were drawn to that line of work.
Yeah.
Can you see in hindsight how that might have not been such a coincidence?
At the time, I was completely clueless, but you're so right on. Now that I'm looking back on it, it was so purposeful. It was so meaningful. There was no other way that I was going to kickstart my intuition, because prior to that, I had spent 20 years in the financial industry, in the mortgage business. Okay. So I was in the wrong part of the brain. I was left left brain, numbers, calculating interest rates and payments and amortization charts and taxes and insurance. So how do you get into right brain where you can open your intuition and start receiving messages from spirit? Well, you sure don't do that in the mortgage business. So I truly feel like, of all things to be drawn to, law enforcement, it didn't make any sense to me at the time, but now I understand completely what my guides were doing. They knew exactly where I needed to be. And it all started because I have this very deep love for all animals. And I started volunteering for animal control in the town I lived in. And it just so happened that animal control was governed by the sheriff's department. So that's the connection. So once I got into animal control, I got the bug for going out and going on calls with animal control officers and responding in the county vehicles. And I just I got it in my blood, and I was like, this is so cool. I love this. And I was approached by one of the sergeants on the department, and he said, Karen, you should really consider becoming a deputy. And I laughed. I mean, that's like spit came out of my mouth. I was like, what? Are you crazy? And it had never even occurred to me to become a cop. It was never even on my radar. So once he planted that seed, though, I couldn't ignore it anymore. It was like I just felt I felt pulled onto that path. So I went.
And when you're on the right path, the opportunities come flowing. And boy, have you ever skyrocketed from that? 2 books. You've written 2 books, award-winning books. That's amazing. And you're actually teaching as well, correct?
I do. I teach all levels. It's my joy to watch the faces of my clients when they get their first message and they have that, like, oh my gosh, I love sharing that. So yes, I do teach all levels. And, I've documented my journey because it's quite incredible. I mean, if it didn't happen to me, I don't know if I'd believe it or not, because it's just so fantastical. But, I've documented it. I have thousands upon thousands of clients, many of whom their stories are in the books, and they're real people. You can look them up. You can ask them. And I'm actually writing the 3rd book now, and it's going to be geared toward pet loss and that journey that we take through that painful place to get back to healing our broken heart. So that's what I'm working on right now.
Because do you mind if I quickly share the screen, guys? Because your website is here, and people can see both books you've got out. I was just going to say, you've also got an app as well. People can download an app. Can you explain a little bit more about that, Karen, please?
Yes, it is a free app. You can go to the App Store on your device and just search Pet Loss, Hope, and Healing, and it'll be the only one there. It's free to download. It has a ton of resources for pet loss, animal communication. There's free training if you want to learn how to communicate with animals. There's events. There's shopping. Like I have in there my favorite things of what I use to connect with animals and to enhance a session. And just a lot of really helpful information if you are struggling with a loss, or maybe you are anticipating a loss. There's a lot of helpful information in there to help you get through those really challenging times.
That's a great thing. And I know I shouldn't say this really. I've done demonstrations, and I've brought through people's uncles or their great aunt. But when you bring through someone's, I can see the dog here. It's a beautiful dog coming in, and describe a dog. They get so emotional. There's more upset with the pet loss than there is the loved ones sometimes, and it's a real thing, and people tend to overlook that and miss that. I think it's such a quite a unique but also valuable thing that you're doing for people.
I think so, and I've had that happen too, where I've been in the middle of a session, and as you know, when you open up to spirit, and I mainly work with departed pets, you never know who's going to show up. I mean,
Yeah.
you can ask for a certain energy to come through, but you never know. And I try to be as polite as I can to any spirit energy that wants to get a message through. I don't want to get beat up on the other side when I get there someday, like, hey, I tried to get a message through to you. You wouldn't listen to me. So I try to be as accommodating as I possibly can. I welcome them in. And I've had that happen too, where I'll have a grandmother, a grandfather energy, a mom energy, father energy. And my client will say, can you tell them I love them, but can you get back to my cat? I want to talk to my cat. So it happens. We love our animals. Like it's a different kind of love. It's a different kind of bond. And you really can't compare it to human love. I don't think you can compare it to human love. It's different. I am coming off of almost losing one of mine from a diabetic crisis. Literally, just he's still coming out of it, but I almost lost him several times. And my world came crashing down on me, and it was a total nightmare just living through watching him go through that and trying to help him and being so worried about him. So then it's something you really can't compare to a human relationship. So I like to just keep it precious and for what it is. It's a connection, it's a bond like no other. We don't mean to compare to losing a human loved one. There is no comparison. It's just different.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
So, but it's no one would think actually that, I mean, we know as mediums how we get messages. And I remember when I first started to have animals come in, that threw me for a loop, because I would never have expected that the animal could pass its name and specific information that somebody in spirit would pass. Like, they know who their owners are, and they know who loved them dearly, and they know who kept care of them, and they knew where their dog bowl was, and they give all that information, don't they?
They do.
Yeah.
They know all of that. They know things about us that would blow your mind.
Yeah.
And really truly, if we can think it, they can pick up on it. It doesn't mean they'll understand it. They can share something with me. Like if you have a health issue, or if you have something going on in a relationship, they can share that with me. They may not understand the big picture or exactly what's going on there, but they can certainly share the emotion, the intensity, the level of stress or happiness or joy or whatever it is. They're able to share that. And I like to tell my clients, I don't ever get the full chapter. I get little bits and pieces from every paragraph. And the client has to help me sometimes connect the dots, because it doesn't always make sense to us as a medium what we're getting.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes we're not meant to know what it means, because it's only for that client. It's truly their message. We're just the messenger. We're just delivering that energetic message. And that's what it is. Because as your thought, like let's say you have a thought of, gee, I really need to get my hair cut. I missed a hair appointment because my cat was sick. So it's on my mind. I really need to get a haircut. So if you connected with one of my pets, they might say to you something about my hair, because this is a recurring thought in my head that I need to reschedule my haircut. So even though I haven't said it out loud, it's still a thought that's in my mind. And my pets are around me all the time. So they're going to pull on that. And my departed pets are around me all the time. So they're going to pull that off of me as well. So even though it's, not a giant thing on the scale of importance, they're still going to be able to say to you, hey, my mom wants to get her hair done, or something about my mom's hair. That's how those messages come through. It's not the full chapter. It's little segments of the chapter.
And this is a question now I just remembered a question that I've had in my mind for a long time, and I get a chance to ask it, because I've often wondered, have animals that have passed, if you have animals that have passed, and you also have some that are living. Are they aware of each other, just like you are aware of the animals that have passed?
That's an interesting question, because some of them seem to be very aware and some of them seem to be completely oblivious.
Okay.
And I don't know what the factor is, other
Yeah.
than I think some may just be more sensitive
That's what I wondered. Mhm.
than others, because even when a pet transitions out of their body, there are some remaining pets in the household that will become completely grief-stricken.
Yeah.
And yet there will be other pets in the household that are like, it's a new day.
That's
Yeah.
true, isn't it? Yes.
Nothing new. Onward we go.
So I'm kind of intrigued to know the character. I mean, I'm assuming we've had, I know a lot of cats in my life. I had a cat myself a few years ago. They can have such almost this, real character. Cats. Do you work a lot with cats, or?
I am a crazy cat lady. I will not tell you how many cats I have, but I will say that I have more than 3.
Oh.
Okay.
Because
that qualifies you as a cat lady, yes.
my theory is you only see about 3 of them at one time, no matter where you are in the house.
Right.
So that's my go-to. I have more than 3. But I've been in rescue for almost 40 years. So as you know, when you are in rescue, when you're involved in rescue, there's way more pets than there are homes. And I take in the animals that nobody else wants, or that are very sick and they just need some place for their final refuge. So I may not have them very long, but they have a home with me. But yes, I do work with a lot of cats, and this is my favorite saying for all the cat lovers out there. If there's ever been an animal in 25 years of experience that's going to make a fool out of me, it's going to be a cat.
Yes.
Very interesting.
And I would imagine when those animals that you've taken in, if they do pass, if they come to you, you must feel a huge amount of gratitude coming in. Do you ever feel the animals you've taken care of yourself?
I do. In fact, where I'm sitting right here in my office is where I used to conduct sessions, and it's a very beautiful office space here. And I will sometimes, as I'm here even chatting with you, I'll feel them near me. I'll feel them down by my feet. I might feel them brush past me. I open basically a portal in my office. It's off camera, but I open a portal in my office when I conduct a session where I welcome the spirit energies to come through. So that's always there for them to come through that portal. So I do definitely feel them, and it is probably one of my greatest joys is to feel them and sense them near me, because that's the truest form of love right there.
Yes, I'm sure.
Awesome. I'm just sharing your page now so people can see on Facebook as well. There's a couple of people asked, they couldn't quite see the book, your name of your book. So I've put it on the banner on the bottom of the page here. So I'm just going to stop that sharing so people can see, just to get an idea how to get in touch with you and a little bit more about yourself, Karen. So it's now that time, I guess, guys. Please send us in your questions, and yeah, we'd love to hear. Oh, as I says, feel already. I don't know if you can see them, Kaylee. Carol's brought one up as well. Here we go. My sister used to see a black cat appear in her house and disappear behind the sofa or the stairs when she was going to hear news, usually when someone got pregnant. Is that unusual? Is that more of a behavior thing?
Wow, that's really interesting. I don't have any human children, so I can only say I have to go based on what other people have told me, that when you're pregnant, you're way more sensitive to everything. Sights and smells and sounds and just the whole emotional hormone supercharging. So I'm going to say that it probably has something to do with that, just the heightened senses that are going on. But I love that they show up when somebody is pregnant. That's really interesting. Or maybe there's it's conjuring up all that love, because here you're conjuring up all that love, and animals respond to love. Even animals on the other side, they respond to love. That's our strongest emotion, is love. So anytime we exude this joy and love and happiness, it's like a magnet. It's like a moth to the flame. You're going to draw in all of your loved ones because they feed off of that fuel. They love that. It's like spiritual fuel to them. It's like, it's double espresso, turbo blaster. So that's really interesting. I love that.
Awesome. I've got another question here from Lou Cook. Have you had any funny experiences with animal spirits?
Oh my gosh. I had one particular one that was really kind of, I'll say it tops the scales, where I had one client's, again, a cat, leave it to a cat, kept moving things in my house. Like, this was like their joy. It was departed. The cat had passed on, but its greatest joy was moving things, and especially like knocking keys off of a table, or I'd put my pen down somewhere and the pen is gone, like completely gone. And you tear the whole house apart looking, there's nothing there. So that was fun. Literally, you think you're going crazy. It's like, I know I just put this here. How could this literally disappear on me? And then I would find, like, as a token of, hey, just to let you know I was here, I'd find like a cat toy in a room where there aren't any animals allowed. I have a couple of those rooms where there aren't any animals allowed. I would find a cat toy in that room, lying right in the center of the floor where you couldn't miss it, right? It's like, hello, I'm here.
Yeah.
So that was really fun. And I have them pop into me too. In fact, this just happened not more than 2 weeks ago. In my practice group, which I shared with you, I have a Facebook practice group for those who want to learn how to communicate. And one of the members of the group had lost her beloved dog. The dog's name was Lucky Duck. And, of course, she was devastated and going through a very, very difficult time. And she had asked if I could do a session, and I'm not conducting sessions. I've retired from that. And so I told her, I'm sorry, but no, I've retired. I'm focusing on my writing, and, I'll send your sweet angel love and let him know how much you miss him. Well, a couple days later, I was doing a meditation, and I opened it up and I said, is there anyone here who needs to get a message through? And all of a sudden I saw this client's dog, Lucky Duck. And I remember him from the Facebook group. So I said, oh, I know you. You must have a very important message for your mom. His mom's name is Beth. And he said, yes, I do. And I said, well, what's your message? And he sent love. I got the waves of love washing over me, and joy and happiness. And he felt really good and really balanced. But he gave me 2 words. He said, blue angel. So I did what you did. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And I asked if there was anything else he would share, and he was like, no. It's like, Mom will know. No, that's all. So he kind of popped out, and I sent him on his way. Well, I reached out to that particular client, Beth, and I said, I just wanted to let you know I opened up to meditation today, and your boy came through and gave me some messages. Are you open to hearing that? Oh my gosh, yes. Oh my gosh. So I gave her the 2 words, blue angel. Well, it just so happened that she has a little memorial set up in her home that I didn't know about. There was nothing that I would have known about here. And one of the little figurines next to Lucky Duck's ashes was a little doggy angel, and it had blue wings on it.
Wow.
The other thing was she had a book of angels sitting right next to her memorial of Lucky Duck. And she had a blue stone. It wasn't quartzite. I'm going to forget the name of the stone, but she had several blue stones set up around this memorial. So 2 words meant absolutely nothing to me. but it meant everything to this particular client. So that's what I love about animal communication is you just never know how important that message is. And now she's able to let go of that grief that she was under, that heavy burden of grief, because she got a very clear message from her boy that he not only sees this beautiful memorial that she has for him, but he's alive and well in spirit. And that's what we all want. We want that validation that they're around us and with us, and that they're okay, and that they love us and they're still connected to us. It's the most powerful, healing, beautiful experience in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree.
Absolutely.
Okay, where are we next? We've got a few questions coming up still. Where are we? This gentleman is next. Hello, can animals understand all of us or only people with a gift? Good question, by the way.
It's a good question. They've learned to tune out about 98% of what's going on with us, because it either doesn't apply to them or it's too big of a concept for them in their minds. I like to say that when I communicate with an animal, it's almost like having, and again, I'm going to speak in general terms here because there are some that are exceptionally intelligent. It's almost like talking to a child of, say, 9 or 10. You know, you can have a conversation with them, but you need to keep it very positive and very simple. And you don't want to get into anything heavy or, you know, too big of a concept. But they can understand anybody. You don't need any special training. You don't need any special intuitive abilities. You don't need to be a psychic. You don't need to be a medium. If you just commit to yourself and believe that your departed pets and your living pets understand you on a simple level, again, keeping it simple and positive, it will really open up you making that connection. You have to believe first. You have to believe, you have to be open to receive, and then you have to be ready for their response. So that's the first step. And it's, there's no special skill. If there were a special skill required, I wouldn't be sitting here.
Yeah.
Yes, which is why you're teaching really and coaching. Anybody can take those courses and learn this kind of skill.
Yes.
Yeah.
As long as you are open, again, you have to believe at some level. You have to believe that you can do this. You have to be. You have to open yourself up to, you know, if Karen Anderson can do this, I can do this. You know, if all these other people are doing this, I can do this. You have to get yourself there. If you are living in a negative space, if you are surrounded by negative people, if you are closed-minded, I'm going to say you're going to have a lot harder time. Doesn't mean you can't learn. You're just going to have a harder time with it.
Mm-hmm.
Did we do this one already? I've completely lost my train of thought here. Did we do this one from Lou? Do you have a spirit guide?
We haven't done that yet.
No.
We all have spirit guides.
Does she mean animal though, rather than an animal guide? Would that be a thing?
I think maybe. So I'll touch on that. Mm-hmm. Yes, we have spirit guides that were of human origin. We have spirit guides that are of animal origin, and we can have spirit guides that are of angelic origin, meaning not ever in human form. And our pets do become our spirit guides. And what a better guide for us, because they know us better than anyone, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now here's the thing. Just as in life, some animals are very vocal, very forthcoming, very loud, and others are not. They're more quiet, they're more subdued, they're more subtle. So they take those traits with them. So if you have a very soft personality of a pet that makes their transition, they're not going to come through with an in-your-face flashing neon sign, hey, mom or dad, do this or don't do that. It just won't work that way. Again, there's exceptions to every rule. But generally speaking, however they are in life is how they're going to be in the afterlife. If they're really outgoing and noisy and boisterous and they knock things over in life, that's how they're going to be in the afterlife. If you suddenly see things tipping over for no apparent reason, things falling off the wall or whatever, that's probably one of yours coming through.
Awesome. Awesome.
And in a reading, Karen, I just have a question. Sorry, Paul.
That's all right.
I thought about this a minute ago. You may have multiple animals come in, I presume, for somebody who's owned multiple pets over the course of their life, I presume, correct?
Oh, yes. They can all, they all want to get in. They all want that through. I like to describe it, Monique. You guys will probably get a kick out of this. Like being an air traffic controller.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you got all these different spirits orbiting around you and trying to get a message through, and then you have to literally focus in on the one and tune yourself to pick up on the one. And it can be a challenge sometimes because you don't want to say no to anybody. You don't want to turn anybody away, right? So you have to do this little juggling act where you'll go, okay, you know, you'll get your turn in just a second. Let me get through. Let me get this one message through and I'll get back to you. It can be really challenging, especially like someone like me. I mean, I've had so many animals. I would feel sorry for the person that would try to do a reading for me. It's like, oh my gosh, how many do you have? I don't know.
Not sure about this next question, whether you'll know the answer to this one. It's from Carol. Do all the pets that we have ever owned meet up in the afterlife? And we know we've looked after them. So yes, okay.
Absolutely. Even if it was for an hour, a minute, a day, a month. Anybody that you have opened your heart to, Carol, great question too. You know, time doesn't exist in the afterlife. There's no such thing as time. If you showed somebody kindness, if you moved an animal off the side of a road that met with its fate, you've made a connection there. That pet, that animal will be connected to you, whether it's wild animal or domesticated animal, doesn't matter. If you've shown kindness in any way to an animal, helped in any way, shape, or form, you've created a bond there. Those things are cumulative. And when we transition someday and get to the other side, all of those souls that we have come in contact with, both human and animal, will be there in what I call our soul group. And, you know, in varying levels, obviously the ones that we've had the most incarnations with are going to be the ones that are, you know, front and center. And then the ones that we haven't, they'll be there, but they'll be a little bit what I call further back. So when I conduct a session, I always get those who are closest to us that we have the closest bond to. They're like standing right in front of me. They're like right here. And then if it's somebody I see way back or just kind of off to the side, I know that's either going back a few generations or it's someone that maybe you have only had a brief encounter with, standing a little bit further back. That's how it is for me. That's how I read that energy. And it doesn't matter. The act of kindness creates the bond.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, fantastic. Good question, Carol. So it says Facebook user on here, but I know because I've got a live link into the group where it's come from. It's actually from Verity. Are our pets able to tell you what happened to them if, for instance, they suffered an unknown sudden death? Is that something as like they'll give us evidence or?
Okay, that's a great question. And here's something that I have found, and just to give you a baseline, I'm not trying to pat myself on the back here, so please don't think that.
Okay.
I have conducted over 22,000 pet sessions in 25 years. That's a lot of pet sessions. And I want to give you that number because I want you to just kind of wrap your head around that for a minute. 22,000 sessions. So in that, those are documented, like recordings, documented sessions. So in those sessions, the majority of them were departed pets. What I have found, and this is the difference between human and animal thought processes, is the humans always want to know what happened. The animals don't care.
Okay.
Or it doesn't matter. Shouldn't say they don't care. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They'll say to me that their life ended, that they felt propelled out of their body, that something overtook them. I might get a blunt force trauma. I might get something like just lethargic. I might get their symptoms. I might get kind of their experience. But it's the human animal that wants to know what happened to them. The animal is so beyond that it doesn't matter to them. That's not of importance to them. So sometimes when I ask them what happened to you, they won't even tell me because they were already out of their body at the point of the end of their life. Does that make sense to you? It's like it's not even part of their memory card because they didn't experience death the way you saw it. And I'm going to take a really saddest scenario. Let's say a dog gets hit by a car and you saw it happen. Very, very tragic, right? Very traumatic.
Yeah.
And maybe the dog didn't die right away. So, I mean, even more trauma there. So you're witnessing this and you're like, oh my gosh, that's your baby. I mean, horrible, horrible. So if I connect with that dog may not even be able to tell me what happened to them because they didn't experience what you saw. They were already out of that body. They launch out. It's like, boom. It's almost like, okay, here's a great example. If you've ever heard from a human who's been in a horrific car accident or any kind of accident, they have no memory of the accident.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit like that. The systems shut down, the brain functions, shuts down, the body, there's a word for it, and I'm not getting it right now. But those senses are turned off. Thank goodness, right? Those are turned off. So what you see, and this is the trauma that people go through, because I used to do it myself, is we replay that loop over and over in our mind, right?
Yeah.
Right? So what I want you to know is that's probably not even part of your pet's memory. So you can let that go because only you are replaying that loop. And every time you replay that loop, you bring your animal's energy down. You're not hurting them.
Oh.
You're not hurting them, but you bring their energy down. It's like draining. It's like draining a battery on your cell phone. So when you get sad, when you replay those old loops, when you have those horrible memories and you beat yourself up or blame yourself or you take responsibility for their death, I guarantee you they will not come through and say, you were the cause of my death. Even if you okayed the vet for the injection, it won't happen. The animals don't have blame as a concept. That is a human perception. Blame is human. Animals will tell me their life ended or they felt that being launched out of their body or they didn't experience that or that wasn't what they felt. They felt pure joy and exhilaration. Nothing what you are thinking in your mind as you're repeatedly punishing yourself is in your animal's energy field. It just doesn't exist. It only exists in your mind. And that's what I teach on my website and in my app. And that's what I write about in my books. Is we're tormenting ourselves needlessly.
I'm so glad you brought that up. That's going to be tremendously healing for a lot of people.
I've been there. I've done this. I carried around, I write about this in my first book, Here All Creatures. I carried this guilt around for 2 decades of what I thought I was responsible for the death of a cat. You'll have to read more in the book to see what happened. But I mean, I really beat myself up over that. And when I finally got the courage to connect with the cat, mind blowing.
Yeah.
It's like, what do you mean it's not my fault? What do you mean I did it? I was the one responsible. No. It's not. It's completely our human brain and our human psychology that we want to punish ourselves, blame ourselves, and live in that I should have done something Why did I make that decision? Why did I leave the gate open? Why didn't I take them in sooner? Why didn't I get the treatment? Why didn't I this or that? That's a human thing,
Yeah.
not an animal thing. They will only ever share with me the love that you share. That's the only thing that matters. Even in the most horribly abused cases I've ever worked on, that's all they talk about is the love.
Yeah.
That's amazing. As they are in life. You know, I've never owned I've had a dog growing up, but they have such unconditional love for their owners. I can imagine that would be true, definitely.
Well, I think we, as their pet parent, we take that responsibility. I know I did, and I still do to a certain degree. I'd be a liar if I told you I don't still go down that path to a certain level. I think when we lose a pet, we kind of have this where we go back and retrace our steps and kind of run everything through. I should have done this different. But that's the whole reason that pet is in your life. That's the beauty of it. If you can see past that pain, to the silver lining is you're supposed to take from that experience, as painful as it was, because we only learn when there's pain.
Yeah.
We don't learn when things are happy and joyful. We learn when there's deep pain and deep trauma. So if you go, okay, what can I learn from this? How can I be a better pet parent next time? How can I, move through this and use this pain to propel me into a positive space so that I either make a better decision, a more informed decision. I just had this happen myself. I was with a veterinary clinic for 19 years, and they gave me test results that were inaccurate. And I made an almost fatal decision on that cat that I was telling you about because they didn't give me the full picture. Now, the backstory is I'd been thinking for a while I needed to change vets and I didn't act on it.
Mm.
So you see, I do it too. So I'd be a liar if I said, oh no, I don't ever, oh, Karen Anderson, she's infallible. Whatever. Whatever, I'm human. I make mistakes too, but we have to pay attention
To that intuition.
Yes, listen to it. You're getting it for a reason, or you have to just be kind to yourself and realize sometimes our biggest lesson is we have to just do the best we can. We're not meant to heal them in certain times. We are meant to experience that loss. That's how we grow on a spiritual level, as painful as it is. We have our greatest spiritual growth when we suffer through the most traumatic pain.
Right. And everything happens for a reason, including the very fact that this pet has come into your life.
Hmm?
So,
Yeah, just going to quickly indulge here. Sorry, Lynn has put this up.
oh,
Thank you so much. I needed to hear that. I've been feeling such awful guilt around a poorly animal being put to sleep recently. I make more effort now not to keep thinking about her passing so that I don't keep affecting her energy. I was so meant to hear that. Thank you so much. So
oh my gosh. Oh, I just got goosebumps and chills. On my website, I have a blog, and if you go to my blog, there is a post on there. It's called, Are You Punishing Yourself for Your Pet's Death? I think it's in my app too. Are you punishing yourself for your pet's death? It is so valuable. I wish every pet parent would read it because it'll take you literally through everything we talked about here in way more detail and just show you, this is a journey we're supposed to take with them. The good, the bad, the ugly, the joyful, everything. This is a journey we're supposed to take. We aren't meant to heal them all. We're meant to go through this and become better human beings. As long as you become a better human being. If you stay stuck in your pain or your guilt, you're not becoming better. You're going to keep repeating now. You're going to get another one of those scenarios and you're going to get hit with it again and again and again and again until you go, okay, how can I move through this? Reach out to me. I'm here to help you. I can help you. I can guide you. I can point you in the right direction and say, read this or go to this blog or check this out. This is what we do is in our humanness is we get stuck. I have worked with some very hardened, you know, like veterans, like military veterans. These are like really hardened human beings that have seen front lines of war. And when their dog or cat or companion animals die, they're in total meltdown. They can't function anymore. They reach out to me, share their grief and their pain, and they can't move past it. They've seen these horrific things in their life, and yet they can't move past the loss of a pet. And I help them through that. Sometimes it's the baby steps. Sometimes it's just, you just need somebody who cares and somebody who will listen to you and somebody who says, you know, it's okay for you to feel this way. So I'm not saying don't grieve. Don't get me wrong. In fact, if you don't grieve, that's a big mistake too. You have to honor those feelings. You have to honor that deep loss. By honoring that feeling, it'll help you move into the healing platform, the healing plateau that you'll go into. If you deny your grief, if you push it down, I'm guilty of that. I push it down. Or if you, a lot of people will do this too. They'll busy themselves so that they don't have to think about it. You know, I don't want to think about it. It makes me sad. I don't want to talk about it. It makes me sad. You know, eventually you're going to have what I call residual grief. It's going to come back up again and it's going to hit you at some point, and it may be even worse than if you had worked through it in little baby steps as you were going through it. And there's no wrong way to grieve. Let me just share that. We can all grieve in our own personal and private way. I just know that there's anticipatory grief where you have one that's maybe on their last few weeks, days, months, hours, whatever. We have residual grief we hang on to over and over again. And then also accumulated grief. You know, how many of us, like me, have lost multitudes of animals and this grief just accumulates? I lost 10 in 1 year.
Wow.
Almost one a month.
To ask a question on that, sorry, I just come into my head. Do you find people replace a pet pretty much straight away? Is that how they deal with that loss?
Sometimes. I have some that say never, 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 ever, 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 ever will I do that again. And then for me, I don't have a choice because I have so many here that are always coming through my rescue. So I have to get up every morning. I have to be present. I have to be there. I have to medicate. I have to feed. I have to hospice. You know, that's my calling. But for some people, you know, the pain is so intense that they don't ever want to open up that part of their heart again. And I understand that. It's not wrong. I'm not saying that you're wrong to do that. But some people do find a lot of joy in helping, either volunteering or opening their heart or their home to another animal, maybe even just pet sitting for a while until you can kind of, you know, figure out where you're at or figure out what you want to do. You know, you need to honor your path, your journey. Don't do what I do. Don't do what the next person does. You know, do what you need to do. Some people need to express in another way. Like, I am a very private griever. You will not see me going on social media and posting my grief. I won't do that. I will disappear. You just won't see me for a while. It's like, where'd she go? She's gone. I don't want anyone to see my pain. It's too raw for me. That's a vulnerable place, my heart, and I keep it to myself. Other people, they need that. They want that outpouring, and that's fine. That's beautiful. Do what you need to do. That's what I want to say here is, you know, Paul and Monique, you know, here we are, 3 people on this show today, but we're all going to grieve differently. We're all going to experience a loss a little bit differently, and that's okay. Just find an outlet of some kind that will at least make you feel like you are processing your emotions, to hold them in, to push them down. You know, I always say, well, you know, if you get to the point where you're, and I've had this happen, you want to end your life. I've had this happen with clients.
Yeah.
I've had some of them say, I don't want to end my life, but I don't want to be here anymore without them.
Yeah.
I've had others say, I want to end my life. And I've had others say, I feel like my life has ended. So these different layers that people go through. And all of those are normal. Those are all normal.
Yeah.
But if you are in that place where you're thinking about ending your life or harming yourself, please, I'm not a certified grief counselor and I won't even go there. You need to get help. Please reach out. There are so many beautifully gifted, licensed professionals out there, of which I am not. I am a pet loss specialist, an afterlife specialist. I can help you understand what happens when that animal dies so that you can help yourself heal and move past that painful, jagged edge, sharp cutting, ripping your heart out kind of pain. But there is always that person out there that is wanting to end their life. And please, please, if that's you, please get the help you need. There's so much out there to help you. That's the best I can offer on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's quite a unique, amazing service. I mean, honestly, I don't know if you lose a pet and you're suffering like that, and you're suffering because of the loss of your animal, would one go to a therapist? I mean, what a unique, uh, healing that you offer people that struggle with this kind of thing. It's a really interesting niche. It's a little gold mine in itself, honestly. Very unique.
I want to say too that we're calling in from different parts of the world. We have viewers here that are from all over the world, and I want to say that what I have found in 25 years of service is that it doesn't matter where you're from.
Mm-hmm.
We all grieve. We all feel that pain. That is our common denominator. Is when we lose a pet, we feel that loss, and it is overwhelming. And no matter what language we speak, no matter what our social class or how much money we have in the bank, none of that matters. What matters is that you have somebody who understands that grief, who understands that pain. And I'm here to help you find your baby steps so you can start working through that dark, dark place and move into a place of healing. It doesn't happen overnight. You can't, deep grief is a reflection of deep love.
Yes.
So if you've loved deeply, you've lost deeply, and it's going to take, who knows how long of a time for you to get to a place where you aren't completely devastated by that loss, that you can say that pet's name out loud, you can talk about that pet out loud, and you don't fall apart. And I'm not saying it's wrong to fall apart. I'm just saying it may take you a long time to get there, and that's okay. That's okay. That's what I'm here for. That's what my books are here for. That's what the app is for. It's to help that person who's in that place, because it's such a personal journey. There's no one size fits all. Oh, do steps 1, 2, and 3, and you'll be better in the morning. This doesn't work that way.
True.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Are there any more questions there, Paul?
There is so many. There's one here. That's right at the bottom. Sorry, guys. I'm going to... What's this? Emma Barker. Hello. Do you want me? Okay. I need to delete that. Sorry. We've got a spammer. Has been blocked. So I don't know how that's still on there. We have so many. Let me get rid of that spammer. Sorry, guys. We got caught out by that one. Where is it? There's a lovely lady on here. I noticed. Here we go. This lady is a dog walker. And she's saying she gets so attached to the dogs. Also, she lost one yesterday.
Oh.
But you've brought a great comfort knowing one day she'll be reunited again. So it's not just pet owners; it's also people that are involved in these animals' lives.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you are connected and bonded to that animal in any way, you will maintain that bond It doesn't end. Love is love, whether it's on this side of the veil or on the other side of the veil. It doesn't diminish, even if many, many, many years go by. As we know, there's, like we said, no time in the afterlife. There's no calendar. There's no clock. So when an animal passes and leaves its body, for you, they may have been gone, 1 year, 5 years, 10 years. For them, nothing is different. They're like around you, they're with you, they're happy, they're in their favorite places, they're doing their normal things, and they're like, why are they so sad every time they think about me all the time? And that's the other thing I want to share with you too. I will give you something that you can do right now, right here today, going forward to help you make a better, stronger connection with a pet that you have lost. So when you want to make that connection and let them know how much you love them or how much you miss them, just say their name out loud and use their nickname. They love their nicknames. So if, Fluffy Pants or, whatever your favorite nickname is for your animal, call them by their nickname and just tell them that you're thinking about them, you love them, and ask for a sign. But tell them to give you a really big sign, like knock something over or make a sound or, give me something really big, because our grief acts like a heavy blanket, even for me. So we have to ask for something really obvious so that we can actually see it, feel it, sense it, or be open to it. So all of you who are tuning in today, ask your departed pet or whoever, even a human loved one, you can ask them, send me a really big sign, make it obvious. But here's the little golden nugget I'm going to give you, and I don't have one here. I've moved it off camera. Give your loved one some spiritual fuel to do that. So what is spiritual fuel? Spiritual fuel can be something like crystals. Quartz is a great conductor of energy. Saging, with Palo Santo or with white sage. You can sage smudge. You can do that. You can also do something like, I always had a little water fountain bubbling in the corner when I was doing my sessions, because water is a great conductor of electricity and energy. And what is spirit? It's energy. So, your electronic equipment, these are all things. But my secret ninja go-to top secret thing that I'm going to share with you today is to how you can help enhance a sign or a message from your pets is go to the store and get one of those gigantic size battery packs.
Okay.
A gigantic battery pack. And put it by either your pet's photo, or maybe you have a little memorial for them, a little corner where you have all their things, and tell them to use the energy from those batteries to send you a sign. Now, this is a trick that I used during my sessions. Whenever I conducted sessions, I had a huge battery pack on my desk, and I would instruct the spirits to use the energy from those batteries, not mine, because I'm already using my energy to do the session. And that way they had a source of fuel. I always got more and more and more messages when I did that. So I learned this from paranormal investigating. Anytime you go into a highly active paranormal place to investigate, all your equipment, all the batteries die, right?
Oh.
As soon as you walk in, brand new camera battery, brand new cell phone charge, everything whoop, drops down. Why? Because the spirits pull their energy from those batteries, and you get all these EVPs, you get all this activity, you get orbs, you get lights, you get flashes, you get, disembodied voices. And then after a while, it tends to drop down again. That's because they need more fuel. So that's what you can do. You can provide your loved ones with a source of fuel and a source of energy. And you don't have to use the battery. You can use something powerful like the quartz crystals or something like that as well. But that's my secret ninja, top secret, what I would do to get more and more messages and signs.
I'll be keeping that in mind, Karen. Definitely.
Yes. Yes.
Thanks for that tip.
It's been a fantastic interview, and there's been so many questions coming. We haven't been able to get around to everybody, so apologies for that. There was one that a couple of people have asked. I'm quickly going to ask you, do you believe in reincarnation of animals?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. Okay.
Sometimes they come back multiple times in our lifetime. In fact, I write about that in my books.
Okay.
And there's one particular story in there that is mind-boggling of what happened in a reincarnation, and it's about a dog named Captain. And I'll just say that it has something to do with the letter C, but you'll have to check that out in The Amazing Afterlife of Animals. It's an amazing story.
Fantastic.
Wonderful.
Fantastic. Awesome. Just really, we want to say thank you very much for coming on and sharing your story, your unique story, because there's not many people out there, you know, communicating with animals, and it's been fantastic.
Well, thank you guys so much for this opportunity, and I want to thank everybody that's tuning in or catching the replay. And, you know, please reach out if you're having a hard time. You know, I'm here for you. I can at least guide you or point you in the right direction to get you out of that dark place. You don't have to stay there. It benefits your pets more when you move into healing, and you'll be more likely to pick up on their messages and signs if you do.
Yeah. Yeah, lots of people saying thank you very much. Been really appreciated. Thank you. Awesome.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just want to wish you all the best now, Karen. We're going to drop you out now, so we're going to go into messages ourselves. And who knows, we might even get a pet come through. That would be pretty awesome if we do.
Sure would.
That would be pretty awesome. And
Thank you,
probably
everyone.
take care. Thank you, Karen. Bye. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, that was awesome.
Wasn't it, though?
I really enjoyed that.
I really did. What a lovely lady she is. Honestly, I really enjoyed that interview. It was very, very down to earth, loving person, definitely. And what a wealth of information especially for the pet lovers that are watching.
Absolutely. And I've also shared this StreamYard link live. So my son today showed me how to stream the link properly. I'm not sure if I've linked that to the top of the page, but if you go through and onto Paul Bannister Medium in the messages, you'll see the link. It should actually show within there that it's there. That's what I'm hoping it's here. But I've actually pasted it in. So if the theory is you click on it and you'll come straight in. So I'm hoping anyway, fingers crossed. So Monique, it's over to us now. So we're going to connect with Spirit. We're going to see who we bring through. By the way, question for you, Monique, for myself.
Yeah, sure.
Have you drawn pets? Have you done that pet drawing?
Yes, I have. And my expertise is not pets. It's actually people. I've always had a gift of drawing people. I was a professional cord illustrator for over 30 years, not just an artist. So I have that skill. But interesting, when I can feel, like Karen, when animals do come through, and just like Spirit, if I allow them to take over, my drawing of the animal is much better than if I would have tried myself. Isn't that interesting?
Wow.
So I don't know if I dare attempt it right now. I might rely, because we're live, I might rely on my portrait expertise, but we'll see what happens, Paul.
Yeah, it'll be really interesting. It's been really active in my cabin tonight. I don't know if people have been watching or tuning in. I do get quite a lot of phenomenon in the background. I did a reading Sunday evening, and there was a lot of activity in here all evening. So I did notice quite a large orb when Karen was talking, kind of flew past my right shoulder. So I get a lot of. I'm also on a ley line here as well, which kind of helps with the energy. So it gives me a boost. So we're going to work now. I'm assuming we're going to kind of work like we did last week.
Yes, we are.
And straight away, I've got a contact coming in straight away. Some comments coming. Let me put the comments on. Hello, guys. Hello to everybody coming on. Yeah, if you'd like to, please like and share. That'd be fantastic. We will pick someone for a free reading this week. Apologies, we missed it last week somehow, didn't we? All the free Well, it was a beautiful thing watching you draw, Monica, I have to say. So I'm ready to work. I've got someone who stepped into my energy. I'm very aware of this gentleman straight away. And I'm not sure if this person is listening, but I'm just gonna. So, Monica, you're turning around. You're gonna draw by freehand because you're not at your usual desk because your mother's.
Correct. Yeah.
So, guys, there is a link on there. Click on the link if you want to come in. If you believe this is for you, the evidence and the drawing that Monique and myself are going to do, it will be lovely for you guys to come in and give a message to you. It's always better if we can hear your voice. You don't always have to come on camera. You might want to come in with just your camera muted, just so we can hear you via the microphone. That would be absolutely fine too, especially if you need pajamas and you don't want to be seen, or you got your colours in. Okay, straight away, Monique, I've got a younger gentleman coming in from Spirit, and I know this gentleman passed in an accident. Very much a young man, quite dark hair as well, quite dark features on him, and I know I do feel this gentleman wouldn't have been made it to 21 even, or 21, 22. I don't think he got that far. Okay, we got some comments coming in. Okay, brilliant. Okay, so do you want to keep going, Monique? Have you got him?
Yeah, I feel I do. I don't know if you're seeing him or not, Paul.
Yeah, I know how he passed as well. It would have been an accident as well. I do
feel he's from the. I'm feeling that he may be from the UK or Europe.
Yeah,
somewhere.
he's definitely from the UK. Definitely feels British. Yeah. I'm starting to get names, but I don't want you to transfix on the names. Normally, when you get names from Spirit, they're either them or hello, Sean. It possibly could. Just hold on to this. Because I recognise this gentleman. Sean just said maybe her friend. I had a gentleman come in, it's very similar vibration today. This could still be him hanging around, which will be quite interesting. I see this gentleman had an accident. I know there was some, it was unsure, in fact, of how it actually happened, but there was some question marks left about the way this gentleman passed. Okay. This gentleman would have, again, I don't want to sound a bit cliche because he was a young man, but this gentleman certainly lived his life to the full.
I'm getting somebody in the young fellow in the early 20s, maybe 20. Are you getting that, Paul? Yeah.
I don't want to go too far than 2021. I still feel he's quite young. I also feel the connection to Mum. I know Mum is still here. He's making me aware of Mum. Okay, Sean, if you think this is the same guy that I had today, also the name David also links to him. I keep getting the name Mark as well around him. I know it's not him, but the name Mark around him. If you can click on the link and come in, that'll be fantastic. We can hear your voice, Sean, and we can go from there. We know it's him or not. Okay. And I keep hearing the word dude. So I'm not sure if he would have said the word dude a lot. The word dude. Hi, Steph. Stephanie's in. Hi, Steph. How are you doing, Sean? Are you able to click on the link? I've kind of put it there. It's up already. I'm going to keep showing that link. That'll be fantastic. You should be able to click on the link and come in. Oh, I love that, Monique. That's fantastic.
I'm feeling a young man with short hair, dark hair, beautiful eyes, dark eyes, possibly an olive complexion, not pale as I am, definitely, and a fit young man. Are you getting that, Paul?
Absolutely. Fit young man. Yeah, very fit young man. But just excitable as well, and had his whole life ahead of him. I also feel there was something wrong with the crash helmet, or there would have been something wrong with the helmet within the accident. And I don't want to go into gory details, but he is making me aware of a head injury. It keeps giving me the name David, and I know this, to me, that feels like it's family. Can you see the link on there? It should be on the actual messages itself, Sean, that it's there. If not, you can cut and paste this one just under my picture. I'm hoping you can cut and paste that. I'll just put that in the banners as well. It should be. Oh no, it's not in there. It's gone. It's disappeared. Never mind. I'll try and, unless, yeah, don't know if you can see that. Oh, I thought I had that sus today with this link today, but it's not. Let me see if I can add it in again.
I'm getting a feeling of a brother, so that indicates that he may have siblings. Are you feeling that, Paul?
Yes. It should be in now. I've reshared that. Are you, that's the other thing, Sean. Are you watching through my page? I've tried to share it into my page and also onto the Spiritual Talk group. Oh, great. Okay, there's another Facebook user can take some of this as Leanne Turner. Okay, Leanne, maybe come in as well if you want to, Leanne. Just going to bring Sean. Hello, Sean.
Hi.
Hello again.
Hello.
Hello again.
Oh, I literally couldn't find the link, and then it was taking me into like a, I don't know, I had to put it in my Google Safari or whatever. I don't know. I couldn't really figure it out.
I should tell you also you are live, so please don't swear.
You know
Okay?
that.
Just in case. Just in case. Now, do you recognize the face that Monique is drawing? Especially the eyes. We always seem to pick up the eyes.
Yeah, I need to get it on bigger for me to see it, but
Okay, I'm just going to keep going with the information. Now, I know I had a similar gentleman.
yeah.
That would you understand? Because I know we didn't go into the finer details of him. He brought him in. He brought some evidence in. I know he gave me his name.
Yeah.
But David, he keeps giving me also the name David, and also it was making me laugh. He's always hungry. He said he was always hungry. He was always munching and eating.
Yeah, he was always eating. Always.
And I'm always hungry, and chocolate, you make munchies and everything.
Everything.
But I do also feel that he was quite slim with that. It wasn't like he was eating lots. And
yeah.
he was putting weight on. He was like he could eat anything. Okay.
This is starting to look like him. Definitely.
Yeah, I mean it's interesting to see how Monique's hand works. I just love watching Monique's hand.
Yeah. Definitely.
Would you understand the name David? He keeps giving this name David. I feel it's on his father's side. There's a connection on his father's side. The name.
Yeah, because I don't really know his family that well, but you mentioned Mark, and he had a friend called Mark, so
yeah,
I can take that. That's definitely looking like him, without a doubt. Oh my god.
I have to say, I have felt him around. I thought he'd gone off over, so he obviously was hanging around for tonight. So for those of you who don't know, Sean came to see me for a reading today, and I brought this gentleman through. He's obviously listened to what we were saying about the spiritual talk.
Honestly, it's like you're just drawing him completely. Oh my god, his face, like everything, his facial features, that is him, and I'm not even joking.
I love that.
That's so good. It's actually really nice to see his face again, actually.
Yeah. If what we'll do, if you like, I can print you out a copy.
Yeah.
And I can or send you via email. It's probably a bit easier to send it via email, and you can keep this as well.
I feel that you actually, he's, as I draw, I can feel his character, and there's so much love coming through. I feel that a connection between the two of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you really liked this fellow. I mean, I just feel an admiration and a love for this man.
Yeah, we
this
had a
young
really
man.
good friendship, definitely.
Yes, yes. And you both had a high respect for each other, I feel.
Yeah,
That's what he's
definitely.
telling me as I sketch. He just wants to relay that because I feel so much love coming through in his presence as I should say he sketches.
Yeah,
You know, because as an artist, I know how to draw an eye or a nose,
yeah.
but how am I drawing his eye and his nose? It's because he is actually drawing through me. That's how
It's
that works.
amazing.
So he is here for you.
I
So,
find it
Yeah,
so
yeah.
fascinating.
I do feel it's the same chap because he's given me the age that he gave me today.
Yeah.
How old he would be today. Stephanie's just put a comment. I'm going to put it up on the screen.
Okay.
Luke said his eyes look like him. And it's
Yeah.
really interesting comment from Luke because Monique always manages to get that the presence, the light in their eyes and that
Yeah.
connection. You can almost connect with their eyes and feel their soul.
Yeah. It's so identical. It's unreal.
That's beautiful.
do you have a picture by chance of him on your phone?
Oh God. I haven't. Maybe I don't know if Steph's on his Facebook where she might be able to bring up a picture, but there is a picture of him on Facebook that I've got, but I don't know how to bring it up on here.
What we could do, Monique, is put some of these comparisons, if people don't mind, we could share it into the Spiritual Talk group. Some of the, like we had the gentleman, Nick from Littleport Christian Spiritualist Church last week. If people don't mind, we could put and compare the pictures up on in the group.
Yeah. It's so unreal. It's so strange seeing his face again, but it is the eyes. It definitely is the eyes. I agree with Luke on that one. It's so bizarre.
And
the other thing,
I feel that this fellow had a wonderful love of life.
Yeah.
There's so much that he could have, at least at the people who mourned him, felt that there's so much he could have done, so much he could have accomplished. That's what I'm feeling here as I sketch.
Definitely.
Is also again, it keeps coming back to the helmet. Would you understand the issue with the helmet?
Yeah, so there was that was brought up. I don't know how long ago that was, but there was something with the helmet. I can't remember whether it was faulty or broke. I don't really know, but I know there was.
I tell you what he just said in my ear.
What?
Shit helmet.
That sounds like him, exactly like him.
Basically, shit helmet, he said.
Yeah. Oh my God. It's so. Oh my God. Literally. It's amazing, this drawing. Amazing.
But he's also making me aware of that he looks a bit like his dad.
Yeah, I think people that knew his family knew he did look like his dad, definitely. Actually, no, I think I did see a picture of his dad on something, and I did think, oh God, he looks really like his dad, definitely.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it's so unreal.
When he said that, he's also like, oh no, I'm starting to look like my dad.
Oh no. Yeah.
Well, he's a handsome man. He's a handsome young man, I must say.
It's an amazing picture. I love the picture.
Did he change his hair color as well? Because I kind of feel like he either messed about with the color of his hair. Does that make sense? Did he talk about dyeing it?
I don't know. So I say I only ever know him with his like dark hair, but I think he would do if knowing him, he would do something and crazy and just dye his hair like a random color or green or anything like that.
A blonde, he was on about doing it like a blondish color.
I think I don't know if you can remember things that are called like, well, in hairdressing terms they're called like shoe shines, but you know when boys had like the tips of their hair like blonde? Yeah. I think he had it like that one time.
Okay, yeah, because it's making me aware of the hair color change. And
yeah, I think he had it like that one time.
Would you also understand that he messed about with his eyes, with the color of his eyes, like putting in a like, I don't know, this is a joke somewhere. He's talking about, like David Bowie had two different color eyes. Yeah. Like he put a contact lens in to change his eye color.
I don't know. I don't think I ever saw him do that, but it wouldn't put it past him. He would probably do that though.
There's some
Either.
crazy stuff that he would get up to. I'm making him fully aware of that. I also think he could be a bit lazy sometimes when it came to what he was eating. Again, he's coming back to food, but and he would just eat anything.
Well, he always had like a backpack on him whenever he would come out, and literally that backpack is like a Mary Poppins bag. There'll be food, drink, like everything in this bag, and it's all rubbish food, nothing really healthy. No,
this is quite random because I even feel there might have been a cup of soup or a noodle.
Oh yeah, definitely. I was sitting him with one of those, and I was like thinking, where are you going to get your hot
water? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think it's like you think. I think he thinks, well, you never know when you might need one.
Man after my own heart. I love that.
Yeah.
That's
I think
awesome.
he swears. I think he just thinks that he's going to get abandoned somewhere and he might need a cup of soup. So
Yeah, you never know. He's a survivor. He is.
Yeah, that's definitely him on that drawing. That's amazing.
I feel in this. I think his hairstyle in this is frosted tips or highlights.
Yeah,
that's what I'm seeing here.
That's what I think. Yeah.
It's making me aware of someone close to him, a birthday in August. He's trying to give me a date of a birthday in August. It's dear to him. I keep on being pulled towards his mum as well. I think we had this today, didn't we?
We
talking about his mum and communication with his mum.
Yeah.
Because I know she's still here.
Yeah. And I don't really know his mum that well, to be honest. So
it's such a shame because, to give that piece to his mum. But then you don't know if she might not even, believe in this.
Yeah, well, they have like a tribute page for him on Facebook, and I have had him through before, and I put something on there, and I think she commented, but I don't. Yeah, it's just I don't really know whether she believes in it or not really. But
he comes through with great love for her.
Monique just took the words right out of my mouth. He comes through with such great love for you.
Yeah,
I can hear it. And did we say he drove a motorcycle?
Yeah.
Because I can feel a motorcycle as I speak. I know you mentioned a helmet, so I feel.
Sorry, Monique, you can't hear us very well. I should tell people that you can't always hear us very well. So to pick that up is brilliant.
Yeah.
And also, as I'm sketching, Spirit's also talking to me. Paul and I, when we've worked together before, and it's amazing where I may be drawing the same person in spirit in one era of time, and he may be seeing that same spirit in another era of time. So where I draw a beard, Paul may not see a beard. So so I may be getting different information than he is. So
it's amazing.
They can come through sometimes. It's almost like the different stages of their life. And I've seen that within a reading where they come through at one age, then they'll show you their younger years.
Yeah.
Or a photograph of when they were younger, but they'll give that as evidence.
There is actually a picture on his Facebook that looks exactly the same as what Monique's drawing right now, and I wish I could have it up but I'd have to send it in like the chat or something.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're on our spiritual talk group on Facebook.
I don't know.
I'll send you an invite. I don't even know if we're not friends on Facebook at all, because people that come to read me, I don't add as friend. Don't add as a medium. I don't want to know any information about you, but you can send it. We'll send it somehow. We'll get the pictures together. Don't worry.
Like email,
email, or I'll send it to you somehow.
Yeah, I'd love to have a picture, because that's how I always remember him. What Monique's drawing now is he always had like a little bit here underneath his lip. It was like a little, I don't really know what you call it, but it's exactly what she's just drawn. I always remembered that.
And I think it's really interesting that he stuck around for you.
Yeah.
Especially after, everything. It's fantastic. He's around. He's giving you strength. So take his love.
Yeah.
And I can't believe it, Monique. We're almost out of time.
Is that right? Wow.
We literally got about 30 minutes to go. So, Sean, can you see people's names that are scrolled down in the chat. Can you see people's names? Possibly not, because you're on the phone, aren't you?
Oh, wait, yeah, no. Yeah, I can. I can see names now.
Can you do an eeny, meeny, miny, mo and pick someone's name, please? You can be our guest that gets a free reading.
Okay. I'm going to, like, just close my eyes and just point to somebody. I think so. My point is on Pamela Watson.
Congratulations, Pamela.
Pamela Watson. I believe she said she's from Australia, so that's
wow,
that's fantastic. So
yeah, I literally because I knew obviously Steph was writing, and then there was Steph's mum was writing, and I just thought I can't do any my own. I'm just gonna have to close my eyes and just point because it would just be my luck. I'd pick one of those, but I picked Pamela Watson, so
brilliant.
that's where my finger was.
Pamela Watson, who is in, I believe she said she's in Australia somewhere. You have just come on. And you've just won a free reading with me. So Pamela, if you'd like to contact me, I will send you some dates that we can get together and do your free reading. So congratulations, Pamela. You came in at the right time. Thank you, Sean.
That's okay.
We can get this I can get this drawing to you, or Paul will get this drawing.
Yeah.
I'd love that drawing, please.
If I just drop you out and I'll quickly end the program and then we'll get some details off you.
Okay.
All right. So thank you ever so much for coming in tonight. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Awesome, Monique.
Well, that was fun, but boy, did it ever go fast.
That was so fun. That really was. And it did go really fast. I just wanted to thank again Karen for coming on and doing the interview. It was brilliant tonight and really informative. And obviously Monique over there in Canada and from me in Norfolk, we just want to say goodbye to everybody.
Yes. And thank you for coming in. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Thanks ever so much, everybody. And we'll see you again this time next week. Take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everyone. Bye.